touched on this before. I believe it was the very first Saturday School episode I ever did. I touched on this topic. But I was guided today to touch on this topic again, okay? Because it's actually really very important. It's very imperative, okay? So today's Saturday School is going to be, the lesson is going to be about spiritual warfare, okay? Just a little rundown of what exactly it is, because I know a lot of people do not know or understand what exactly it is, okay? So, I hope you're ready to take some notes, okay? Let's get this lesson started. So, spiritual warfare. A lot of people fail to realize what spiritual warfare actually is, okay? A lot of people, they hear spiritual warfare and they envision a literal demon coming after them, drooling and throwing up acid. They imagine someone like the exorcism or something, you know what I'm saying? So not really, not necessarily. Spiritual warfare is very covert. It's very strategic, okay? And it comes from the people you would least suspect, and that's part of the lesson, okay? The devil, the demons, the darkness, the enemy, whatever, will use low vibrational people to attack you spiritually, okay? It doesn't matter who it is. It could be a husband, a fiance, a mother, an uncle, a sister, a child. It doesn't matter. As long as their vibration is low enough, an entity can jump into their body and use their vessel. As long as their vibration is low enough, an energy can come in and shift them and use them for whatever dark or low vibrational purpose they see fit. That's spiritual warfare, okay? So let me go ahead and just touch on that example. So what I was saying about entities and energies jumping from people and bodies, okay? That's also what is called demon possession in Christianity and in religion. It's demon possession, okay? So, for example, you keep running into the same types of women or the same types of men. It's literally the same demon, the same entity jumping into a new vessel because these people that you're associated with or dating are low vibrational. So their vibration is low enough that the same entity, the same demon that was in your ex and the ex before that and your ex before that can get into this person and use them the same way that they used the last person you were with and the person before that. And okay, so then you end up believing that women ain't shit or men ain't shit or there's piss in the dating pool. It's not. It's really not. You are literally entertaining demons, entities in people because you're not learning the spiritual lesson you're supposed to learn from the encounters. This entity is able to continue to follow you and jump into the next partner and the next partner. And because you're not learning the spiritual lessons, you're not upgrading the type of partners you're looking for. So the vibrations are still low in the people that you're looking for. So the entity is able to jump in it or in them, excuse me. If you were dating higher vibrational people, first you have to raise your vibration yourself because like attracts like. So if you were dating higher vibrational people, you wouldn't have these low vibrational problems because the low vibrational energy can't exist in a high vibrational environment. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the lesson in spiritual warfare is to learn how to not, you have to learn not to be so trusting of everyone because everyone doesn't have your best interest at heart as you may have theirs at heart, okay? So in a spiritual war, the devil, demons, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same thing. The dark forces, the low vibrational forces will literally use people that you love against you to take you down, to take you out. And the purpose of spiritual warfare is indeed to take you out or take you down, okay? Because the dark forces, the demons, the entities don't want you to awaken. They don't want you to heal. They don't want you to awaken. Because if you do so, they don't want you to raise your vibration. Because if you do so, they have no home, they have no host, they have no vessel to jump into. They have no one, they can't use you. You're no use to a demon or an entity if you can't be used. So they have their way when as many people are in low vibration as possible. That way they can jump to and fro. What does it say in the Bible when I think it was God was talking to Lucifer and asked Lucifer, "Where have you been?" And Lucifer was like, "From running to and fro among the earth." Yeah, and people running to and fro, jumping from vessel to vessel, body to body, having their way energetically in people. So someone that commits a crime, that's an entity, a demon that jumped into their body, possessed them to do that. Someone that is a narcissist, that's an entity, that's a demon attached to that person. You see what I'm saying? So, once you raise your vibration high enough, these entities, these demons can't possess you. They can't jump into your body. They can't use you. They don't want that. The dark forces, the devil, the dark agenda, it's all the same thing. They don't want that. Confirmation burp. Because, like I said, once they can't use you or jump into your body and use your vessel to do their low vibrational dark shit, you're no use to them. They have nowhere to go. They got to go back where they came from. Okay? So if everyone suddenly raised their vibrations, guess what? There would be no more dark energy. There'd be no more demonic shit happening. There'd be no more crimes, no more murders, and no more narcissism, and no more manipulation, and no more anything, because where would the fucking demons go? Everybody's vibration's too high for them to jump into. They'd have to go back where the fuck they came from. Okay? So that's one way that spiritual warfare is manifested. I'll say manifested, okay? So it can be an entity, a demon, an energy, jumping from person to person to person, using people, using their bodies, using their minds to do evil, dark, low vibrational, mean, cruel, abusive, narcissistic, manipulation, all that type shit, okay? Another form of spiritual warfare is spell work, okay? So a lot of people hear spell work and they think just witches and shit. It's not. There's a reason why they say be careful what you wish for. Watch your mouth. There's another one. Speaking into existence. There's a reason why these terms are terms. There's a reason why these phrases are phrases. It's everybody has the power. You have to be careful what you say, how you say it, and when you say it, because it's a form of manifesting. It's spell work. So, example, when you get upset or angry, you have to try to control your anger, because if you say the wrong thing at the right time in the right way, it can absolutely manifest. So think of like a child getting mad at their parent, and the child storms off, and the child in anger, not thinking fully what the word death even means, not thinking far into the future, just in that moment they're thinking how angry they are, and they storm off and say under their breath, "I wish you'd die," to their or to about their parent, right? And then 3-4 years later, the parent actually dies. The child accidentally casted a spell, manifested the outcome. They didn't mean it, but that's because they didn't know that words are spells. See, and that's, you really have to be careful what you say and how you say it and who you say it to, because even in anger, and I've done this, and when I'm fucking angry, this is why I try not to get angry, and I try not to get mad. And that's why learning how to fight spiritual warfare is very important, because people, entities, things will happen just to piss you off and get you to say and cast spells without you thinking. So I've had this happen before. I've been upset. I've been not upset. I've been mad and fucking told somebody I wish they were dead, or I hope something bad happens to you. I hope you lose everything you love. Okay, well that's bad, especially in anger, because that's a low vibrational energy. And then I'm casting a spell in low vibrational energy that's literally creating a dark spell, dark magic. So yes, as her heat of the moment, yes, things do get said in the heat of the moment. But that's because the entities and the energy are coming into you to lower your vibration low enough that you fuck up and say certain shit and do certain shit to cast certain spells. Okay, so like I was saying, words are spells. That's why we spell words, because they're spells. So that's why they say speak things into existence, um, only say positive things, be optimistic. Yeah, because what you say, what you think manifests in reality. It does. So if you are dealing with someone sending you evil eye as a form of spell work or as a form of spiritual warfare, that's literally just someone sitting and thinking about you and wishing bad on you. Okay, so for example, say that there is a woman that doesn't like you because her ex left her and got with you, so now she automatically hates you. So she sees you guys posting on social media pictures together, and she instantly, ugh, I hate this bitch. I because your skin is nice. She says some shit like, oh, I hate this bitch. I wish, I wish something happened to her fucking face, since she thinks she's so cute. You know, that's a spell. That motherfucker is casting an evil spell, an evil eye spell on you. Okay, that is absolutely a spell. Or you have a dude that you have beef with, and you have beef with this dude since high school. Maybe you got your ass whooped in high school by this dude and you never let that shit go. And every time you see this dude, under your breath, man, this nigga's still alive. I wish somebody fucking kill his ass. You might not actually mean that shit like in the literal sense. You just speaking because you don't like that motherfucker. But that's a spell. That's evil eye. That is the universe heard you and it's like, that's what you want. Because the universe will give you what you want. So the universe will hear your ass and be like, that's what you want. And then all of a sudden that person gets killed. Well, you don't realize it's because you said that shit. You just, oh, that's crazy. It's because you said it. Okay? So that's another form of spell work. Words, how things are said. Let me give another example. I don't want to. The subject of spiritual warfare is very multi-layered. It's not just, oh, somebody's casting a spell on you. Oh, this person has a demon. It's very fucking deep. Like, what's another example? Strangers. Strangers can even be used for spell work, because a stranger, it's even easier for you to get angry at a stranger than it is for you to get angry at a family member. So you're quicker to do something to a stranger than you would a family member. But a family member is a test in spiritual warfare, because your trust and not believing that someone could do something to you because they're family can get your ass killed too. So anyways, a stranger. You can be driving in your fucking car, minding your business, you singing along to Taylor Swift in the car. Nobody even knows you a Swiftie. You singing to Taylor Swift in the car, and all of a sudden the car next to you decides that they need to get over to the left, and they cut you off to get over. You almost got to slam on motherfucking brakes, and now you're pissed off. So you are cussing up a motherfucking storm in your car. You pissed the fuck off. You didn't actually get in an accident. Nothing actually happened, but the energy that person did that shit in is now rubbed off onto you, and now your mood is fucked up because they decided to literally let the entity or the energy or the demon come into them to piss you off. So now you have a choice in that moment. Do you absorb the spiritual attack and let the energy continue to roll with you? Do you chase this person down the street? Do you try to cut them off back? Do you let this one thing happen and ruin your whole fucking day? Or do you let it go because you didn't actually get in an accident? No one's actually hurt. It's not like you can pull this motherfucker out of their car and whoop their ass. So what is this doing for you in this present moment? Nothing. What can you do about it in the present moment? Nothing. What should you do about it in the present moment? Especially since nothing actually happened. Nothing. And you let that shit go. Well, that is how you just defeated that spiritual attack. Because the point of the spiritual attack was to fuck up your mood, fuck up your day, bring you down to a low vibrational energy. If you let the shit go, the spiritual attack does nothing because your vibration is still where it was. You're not acting out of demonic low vibrational energy, and you didn't let the demon possess you to do anything stupid. Okay? Because spiritual warfare, like I said, the point of spiritual warfare, these demons, these entities want you to ruin your life or ruin your life financially, physically, as in death, jail, having a baby with the wrong person, staying in a toxic situation, working a job you fucking hate, but hey, the money's there. All these things are spiritual warfare. All these things are ways that these entities and these demons move and operate in the real world to try to either set you up to get hurt, set you up to hurt someone, or set you up to hurt yourself. Ruin your life. Literally. Intrusive thoughts. Spiritual warfare. That's spiritual warfare. Like I said, the demons, the entities, the devil want you to take either yourself out or someone else out or ruin your life. Okay? So if you get the intrusive thought to run into the middle of the street in oncoming traffic, that's an entity. That's a demon. That is something trying to possess you to take your ass out there and kill yourself. Suicide. It's a demon. It's an entity convincing you to take yourself out. Anger, jealousy, envy, greed, gluttony. Those are all entities. Those are demons that attach to people to cause people to take other people out because they're envious of what they have. They're jealous of what they have. They want what they have. Ego. Too much ego is a form of an entity because too much ego causes you to cause problems for other people. You are very arrogant. You want to fight. You don't want to listen. You don't learn anything. You're very closed-minded. That's an entity. That's a demon. That could also be considered an antichrist. But I'll get into that on another day. This is all spiritual warfare. Okay? Spiritual warfare is very much spiritual, but also very much psychological. Okay? The shows on TV, the music we listen to, the commercials, the shit we're shown, the news, all the spiritual warfare on a whole nother level. But I ain't gonna get into all that because I've already been talking for 21 minutes. And if I get into all that, it's gonna be another 30, 40 minutes of talking. Okay, so I don't want to let this video go too long because if I do, it's gonna take forever to upload, all kinds of other shit. But hear me out. I actually have a webinar that I'm hosting live on June 11th. It's 1 fucking hour, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock Eastern time, Patreon live / YouTube, okay? Because it's like YouTube, but it's like it's on Patreon through YouTube, whatever the fuck. 1 hour, June 11th, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm hosting a free webinar. This webinar talks more in depth about spiritual warfare, what it is, how to fight it, how to recognize it, and how to defeat that shit, okay? because a lot of people have, like I said, have no idea what the fuck spiritual warfare even is. And it is the number one way that people either get killed or ruin their lives. Like, legit. Like, a lot of the news stories, when I fucking read news stories now, I can see it now. I'm like, oh, that fucking spiritual attack. So I'm trying. People don't hear me, and my fucking posts and shit on Twitter and shit get hidden, and people see them sometimes, but people don't really understand. They're not there yet. So I'm literally trying to save people's lives with this fucking webinar, because in the webinar, I'm going to teach you 4 tools on how to recognize, identify, and fight spiritual warfare. Okay? And these 4 tools are very fucking important. Not ignoring the red flags, being aware of who you let in your energy, listening to what people say and how they say it, watching how people around you act and react to your mood. These are all very important factors on recognizing and fighting spiritual warfare. So June 11th, I will be hosting this webinar to teach you the 4 tools to effectively start recognizing spiritual warfare and telling you and teaching you how it manifests in the world in general, not just for people, places, and things. Okay? So if you are interested, if you are guided, and I'm praying that you are guided, because like I said, this information will literally and can literally save your life or someone you love's life. Okay? So underneath this video, there's going to be a link in the description box for my Patreon. If you become a free member, you don't have to pay shit. A free member on Patreon, you will still have access to, come on, Jocelyn. You'll still have access to watch the webinar on June 11th. Also, there's also a link in the description box to register for the webinar. Okay? So if you click the link to register for the webinar, it's going to say RSVP for the ticket. Click it, enter a name and an email address. You can get updates of when the webinar is approaching, so just in case you forget. But yeah, you can either become a free member on Patreon, or you can just register to RSVP for the webinar. But it's going to be live again on June 11th for 1 hour, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to teach you 4 important tools on how to recognize, identify, and fight spiritual warfare. Okay? And this webinar is absolutely free. So please go to the description box, find the link to register for the webinar or the Patreon, or do both. Either way, I just really want you to be there, because like I said, I'm trying to save people's lives. And a lot of people aren't hearing me or understanding me, or when I post about it on social media, I'm being suppressed and hidden so I'm not getting reach. But it's very imperative. It's actually most imperative. Okay? So I'm actually going to close Saturday school here. In the next 3 to 4 days, there will be a pop quiz video. So test your knowledge in 3 to 4 days, okay? But in the meantime, be aware of how people are moving around you. Be aware of how people's energy. You can feel when someone's energy is off towards you, okay? So be aware of people's energy at this time. Yeah, be very aware of people's energy at this time. But during the webinar, I will teach you more about how to navigate this shit, how to see it, how to navigate it, what it is, okay? But I will catch you next Saturday for another Saturday school lesson. And let me see, what is next Saturday school's lesson? Lord, hold on. Next Saturday school's lesson will be destiny swapping and demon possession. that's going to be fun. So I'll see you next Saturday.